Hello and welcome to the game stream with Big Gaz. And today we're playing Game of Thrones. It's just going to be a little bit of a brief guide on how I get set up for Alliance Conquest. Um, this is looking at it from the viewpoint of a rally lead. I don't have the strongest account in the game, but for Nordmann, I'm one of the rally leads, not the biggest by any stretch of the imagination. So making sure that your account is set up perfectly can make all the difference. Um, Tonight we're facing Nos, so I'm gonna make sure that my account is prepared and as strong as possible. Battle starts in a little over 2.5 hours there. I'm just gonna go through how I would set up my account in preparation for the event as a rally lead. So, first things first, we'll start with your castle skin. So pop into your castle skins, go through your best bow ones, um, select whichever one you want. I'm going to go for Ancient Vow today. Gives me total defense 10%, 30% cav attack. There are some other ones that I could have chose. I mean, if you've got some of the the pay to win ones, then there's some better than the Ancient Vow, but for me, Ancient Vow is quite nice. A lot of people do have Shadow Valeria. If you can get yourself in further before you enter, at 7% across all of the totals, that's quite a nice one. And a lot of people have that because it's fairly cheap as well. Okay, so Castle Skin, make sure you've got that set up. Next thing you want to do, you don't want to go to there, you want to go to the Sept. You want to make sure you have total attack on. I'll reset this so I know I've got it set. So you get your 20% total attack on, and you also want to go into your army size and select, if you're rallied, you want to try to at least get 50%. Ideally, for a rally lead, you want to try and get at least more than 3 million troops. Yeah, no, not every player can get there, you know what I mean? But you want to be trying to aim to get more than 3 million troops, because there'll only be 3 million troops defending. If you can boost your rally size, which is your rally size which you find in the Bannerman Hall, plus whatever troops you can send, if they can get that over 3 million, it means when you're attacking, say you've got 3.2 million attacking, you've got 200,000 extra troops there over the defender. They're going to only defend with 3 million troops. So trying to get as big a rally size as you can. It is absolutely vital. It doesn't matter if your stats are worse than the enemy. It doesn't matter, sorry, if your stats are better than the enemy, but you've only got a 2.5 million rally going up against 3 million troops, you're at a disadvantage straight away. So you need to try and get your rally size as big as possible. We're facing some tough opponents. Normally I'll always just go with a 50%. Facing some tough opponents today, so it's probably worth me popping on a 75%. There we go. Battle starts in 3 and a bit hours. And yeah, I'm doing it early, but that'll last for 4 hours, so I've got a 75% ready for the fight. Next thing, make sure you have your war equipment set up and all your badges. Basic setup on badges, the way I like to do it is I'll have all 3 melee troop types. Melee troop types being infantry, cavalry, and spear. So I have all 3, my first 3 badges are all on attack. Your 4th badge, depends what badges you've got. If you can get some more attack from, the Champion City Siege badges, or you've purchased some total attacks and stuff like that, then obviously you want to make sure they're in as well. If you're like me and you haven't spent that much on the game, then you want to try and get some health or defense badges on the 4th slot. Make sure you've chosen your commander. Um, Ideally, you want a commander that's got totals, because you don't know what your rally formation, your attack formation is going to be when you're rallying a target. So ideally, you want your commander, the Lord, to be someone that can be compatible for any attack, no matter who you're fighting. So for me, I've got Kevin. He's got total attack 15%. I think it's total defense as well. And make sure you get your talents done. Okay. Some people do this differently. Some people will focus their talents and their equipment setups in a way so that they've got, one or two troops are really emphasized for having high stats. My thinking on this is slightly different, and a lot of people go with the way I do it, and this is the Nordmann way normally. It's what we encourage. I prefer a balanced setup. You do not know what you're going to face at any one castle. And you're limited in most alliances for how many rally leads you've got. So not everyone's got accounts that are capable of rallying someone. So what you want to have is the ability to attack anybody, no matter what their stats are, effectively. So if you're attacking someone and you know what their formation is, you know what their troop type is, but you've only got, your infantry's half the strength of your spear and your cav, but you need infantry to counter the spear and the enemy, but your infantry's crap, well, you're not going to do a lot of damage. Even, sometimes if you're low enough, even with a counter, it's not going to do enough damage. So we encouraged a balanced attack. Now, on this setup, the way I've gone for it, I've put 50 points on my defense, 50 points on my health. I've gone for an inf cav setup on my talents here. But the way I would normally advise it for most people is to go 50 points on the spear attack, 50 on the cav attack, 50 on the infantry attack. Now the reason I say this is that'll give you a balanced setup, gives you the maximum amount of attack across all three. It means that you're ready for any opponent. You've got a decent strength. Maybe it's not the maximum strength for a specific troop type, but you've got a nice balanced setup against whoever you're facing. It also means when you're defending, you've got a nice balanced setup. If you have a nice balanced setup, it makes it harder for the enemy to counter you. They can't, if they analyze you and they see that you're weak in one area, then they can focus on that area. It gives them less options to choose from. However, because of my equipment and the way the rest of my account is set up, my spears are already my highest stat. So to counter that, I've decided in this case, I'm going to go for 50 points on my cav, 50 points on my infantry, and then I'm adding them, the extra points that I would have put on the spear, on the 50, I'm putting them into my cav attack and my infantry attack. That's just to balance my account up. It boosts my infantry attack, it boosts my cav attack so that they're approaching equal with my spear. And you see down here, I've added a little bit more to the cav attack, sorry, the infantry attack, and the cav attack level 1, and I always put the 5 points in the army attack as well. Nice thing with that, I have a nice balance set up now. Yes, it's dropped my spear down a little bit, but it's brought my cav and my infantry up so that no matter what formation I attack with now, I have a nice strong account across all levels. It's vitally important that you're able to adjust for whatever target you're reaching in AC. You don't know who you're going to face in each castle that you're going to be attacking. You don't know who's going to be attacking you. You don't want to have any weak areas. So nice balanced setup. Once you finish with your details, once you finish with your setup and your details, you want these stats to be as equal as possible. For most people though, I would say 50 points on the spear, 50 points on the cav, 50 points on the infantry all the time. I've set it up this way purely because of the way my account's set up with regard to, how good my badges are, what equipment I've got. For me, I've done slightly different. You know what you guys have got in your accounts. You know whether to adjust it or not yourself. Make sure you got your Hoff bonus active. It's absolutely massive. 38% total attack, marching speed 21%, total defense, total health 38%. Absolutely huge. Before you enter AC, remember to get yourself a lord into your dungeon. Ideally, you're looking for a level 60. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry, upgrade. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Ignore me. I'm going crazy here. So yeah, you want to, a level 60 lord in your dungeon gives you 30% total attack. Um, yeah, look, every percentage point counts. Make sure you get that lord in there. If you can't get a level 60, 56, 57, 58, it's a 7% drop in your total attack if you get below 60, but every little bit helps. Make sure you get it. Next thing to do for this is make sure you got some army configuration set up. Now set this up after you've applied your army size buff. So set your army size buff, then come into your configure army. I set up 3 set formations: spear inf, cav spear, inf cav. Now, nice thing with this is that I have them 3 set up already. One's a spear front line, one's a cav front line, one's an infantry front line. If I need to change the formation, um, say I want to go inf spear, then I would use my inf cav formation. If I wanted to go spear cav, I would use my spear inf formation. If I want to go cav inf, I would use the cav spear formation, because my frontline commanders are the ones that I'm using here. And you'll see I've got Kevin as a lord in each one of these set up already. Got my best 4 infantry commanders, my best 4 cav commanders, my best 4 spear commanders. So that my front line is always really, really strong. Pop into here, edit them. Now, you're a rally lead. This is very, very important for whoever you are. Now, make sure that you've applied your army size buff before you do this. Then go down to your Royal Cavalry, which is what you're going to be using as the rally lead. Go down to your Royal Cavalry, max the number to Royal Cavalry. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're using a spear front line, a cav front line, an infantry front line. It makes no difference what troops you're sending as a rally lead to an attack. You always, as a rally lead, use Royal Cavalry. If if you're halfway through the battle, you've got no Royal Cavalry left, you need to use T3. Fine, not a problem. But ideally, Royal Cavalry, they're what you use. Now, the reason you use Royal Cavalry is very simple. When we set up rallies, we can have, anywhere between, 8 to 12 rallies attacking at the same time. So we call a formation. In Nordmann, the way we do it is you ask the Alliance Conquest commander. I'll set up a formation. I'll call for a rally. Say I want to call Inf Cavalry. You set up your rally. You call it. You send your cavalry, and then when we're about to launch, you count down. Everyone launches at the same time. Or if you know what your rally leads time is, you can stagger them so that they're all launching. But the idea is that you want to know that all of your troops are marching at the same pace. By everyone using cavalry, you know that every rally lead is marching at the same pace depending upon their own march speed. So if someone's got a slightly faster march speed, you may want to send them a little bit later than the rest of the guys. But the idea is to try and balance it so that when you start the rally and they're all marching forward, they all land on the target castle round about the same time. You want to get that hitting on the enemy castle as close together as possible. Now, the reason for that is because the enemy are going to be attacking that castle. Sorry, they're going to be reinforcing that castle whilst you're attacking. As soon as the numbers start dropping in the castle that you're targeting, as soon as there's 30 maximum reinforcements in a castle, as soon as them numbers drop, the enemy can then place more troops in there to defend against your incoming rallies. So, if you can shorten the time for where your rallies are actually attacking that target, it means that you're reducing the ability of the enemy to get reinforcements into the castle on time. You're forcing them to rush into the castle, use speed ups, just to try and beat your timing in on the rallies. So yeah, if all your rallies are spaced out between 20 seconds because you're not using the same troop type, then or you launch at the wrong time, then it means they've got 20 seconds. The first rally hits, they knock some troops down. The second rally hits, they knock some troops down. But then you've got to drop some numbers so they've got tons of time before the next rally lands to get some troops in to reinforce and build up the numbers in that castle again. Shorten the time, reduces the ability for them to reinforce it, and it means more damage being done to the enemy and the greater the chance of you actually capturing the castle. So, very, very important. All rally leads, always use cavalry. Um, as I said, this is prep, so after you've set your army buff, put your troops into the maximum amount of cav and save it. Do that the same with every single one. So you got the same number and save. And save. That's all set up. Now I've got these three formations set up. During the battle, if I called, say, infantry spear formation, when you go to set up your rally and send it, they would click inf cav. Because this is set up as infantry cav, they'd quickly pop down to inf spear, select inf spear, and send. But everything else is already saved, so it saves time. They only have to change formation. I've got the three, so it means and I use the bottom three here, and then if I want to use, if we decide on an attack that uses the other three, it's very simple to change them very quickly. So nice and simple, and that's saved. Another one I do is I always have reinforcements save set up. I will set out a number of reinforcements. Now, because I'm a rally lead, I will always have more Royal Infantry and Royal Spear in my reinforcements. The reason for that is I need to save my Royal Cavalry for rallies. If you're not a rally lead, then the Nordmann way is to send a balanced set of troops. It makes it more difficult for the enemy to counter you because you have one of each troop type. A ratio of one for one for each troop type. It means it's harder for them to decide what formation to use because no matter what happens, eventually in the battle, one troop's going to come in and counter them. To be honest, against certain targets, it can be sometimes better to defend with two troop types. If these guys are really heavy on their spears, you might want to try and put more infantry into a castle to defend. You get to know your opponent as you're going along. The reason I say balanced is you have it saved as balanced is because this gives you a nice base to work from. And also, it's nice to have this saved because sometimes you have to get reinforcements into a castle really quick. If they've got 10, 12 rallies coming in on a castle, you don't want to waste time setting up your troops and what troop numbers you've got before you send a reinforce. So if you have one saved, it means popping over to your reins tab, click it, send. and then it'll pop onto your screen. Click on speed march up and wait for the guys to tell you to speed up. Simple as that. So get yourself a nice range setup saved. Like I said, because I'm a rally lead, I try to reduce the number of cavalry that I'm using, that I'm sending, as because I want to try and keep as many Royal Cavalry in my castle as possible, so that when I'm actually needed to send a rally, I have enough Royal Cav to send a full rally. So that's that saved. Doesn't matter about the formation. Make sure you have a dragon there. Because I'm a rally lead, I automatically have the second dragon saved. I like to keep my first dragon for when I'm rallying. It's quick to change it if you want to put your first dragon in there because it's a big, it's a big castle you want to keep. Get that saved. Everything's fine. I also, this is just personal preference. I have an AC race tab. I have it at the bottom of the list purely because it means less distance between um, clicking that and sending. So when I'm racing for a castle at the start, um, shorter mouse distance. I know it's a fraction of a second, but hey, it helps. Remember, pop into here. You want all Cav because Cav travel the fastest, and save it. And that's your army configuration done. Don't forget, you can change your formation drill. I change these literally every couple of days. Um, if I'm fighting and defending, I'll sometimes change it 2-3 times during the day. But make sure you get this set up. Double check that your wall commanders are set up. And remember, this needs to suit whatever your defensive formation is. Then, one of the couple of the last things you want to make sure to do, uh, nice thing to do, set yourself up a rebel camp. So go to a rebel camp, start doing a rebel camp rally. You get a little cog here. Click on it and select your troops. Now, the way we do it in Nordmann is we like all of the troops open. You don't want to be having to think too much during AC. There's lots of ways. I mean, I've been discussing the way we think here. You know what I mean? And there's lots of ways to actually do things better than what I've said, to be more efficient against a particular target, or when you're attacking, or to be more efficient when you're defending. What we're trying to go for here is a nice balanced setup. You've got to remember that during AC, there's going to come a point where your alliance might be getting low on troop numbers. So set up a rebel camp, open up all your infantry T3 and T4, spear T3 and T4, and cavalry T3 and T4. Then save it. Complete your rally. What that means is that when you're in Alliance Conquest itself, whenever you start a rally on something, it means all your T3 melee troops and all your T4 melee troops, the Inf, Cav and Spear, are open for people to send. We get in voice, so whenever we send, whenever we call a rally and we say, I may call an Inf Spear rally. So I'll call an Inf Spear rally. My team know that they're to send a majority of Inf Spear. However, the later you get on in a battle, the less troops you have available. When you're into the last 20 minutes of the fight and you don't have any more heals and your troop numbers are running low, it might start to get difficult to fill the rallies up. So having a full rally is better. A full rally with, say 500,000 of the wrong troop is better than having a rally that's half full. You want to try and get the rallies maximum number of troops sent in on the attack, even if it means using some of the wrong troops on your third row. So have all troops open. This means when you start a rally, You don't then, as a rally lead, have to open the rally up and open the troops up later. So if you're prepared beforehand, saves you time during AC, gives you less time to be messing about with things. It means you can focus on what's important. It means what your target is, when you need to defend, when you need to reinforce. Yeah, the less you have to do in battle, the better you're able to react. So get a rebel camp done, everything's fine. Um, I think the only thing I haven't really covered, um, which I can't really do right now, is just prior to entering. Depends whether you're on a safe kingdom or not. You know, you might be on a war kingdom. You might be in danger of getting, a soloed or rallied as soon as you're on bubble. Um, Remember, look, you can drop your bubble, um, and get yourself into fervor, and then immediately join. Remember, get yourself into fervor. The fervor bonuses are absolutely huge. Some of them, for some people, better than others. But look, even on an account like mine, which isn't that good, I'm only average, I would say. I'm not one of the bigger rally leads. 24% army attack just by getting fervor. So get fervor. Um, get yourself Lord Commander, your Champion City Siege buffs. Get your Lord quickly at the same time. As soon as you've got all of them, jump in, get yourself going. Now, if you're rally lead and you're one of the main rally leads of your alliance, you want to be in the front row. If you're secondary rally lead, you want to be in the second row. You want to be as close to the enemy castles as possible. All the rally leads need to be close together. Idea is if you'll all launch at the same time, you're all traveling at roughly the same speed. The closer you are together, the closer you land on the target. So if you're not a rally lead, you shouldn't be in your first or second row at all. If you're just a rally filler, a reinforcer, you know what I mean? You should be third row and behind. Um, I hope I've covered everything. I'm pretty sure I've probably missed something. I'm pretty sure I've waffled on a little bit as well. Look, if you've got any questions, I don't care whether you're Nordmann, I don't care whether you're enemy or not. I'm all for improving the game, making everyone stronger because I think we can have more fun that way. Get in touch. I'm more willing to debate stuff, to answer any questions. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like, subscribe, tick the bell if you want to get notifications in future videos. Hey, go have fun, kill some enemies. I'll see you later. It's been Big Gaz on the game stream. Thanks for watching.